Hi guys, how are you? And I hope you're well and you've had a lovely weekend. So here we are. We're looking at the Legion Dreadclaw. Now we're going to put this together. It's nice and simple. There's only a few parts. Now if you remember the original Dreadclaw, there's a lot more components and they've simplified the kit, which is a lot nicer because I've already built one and I thought I'd do this for a video. So you get 5 landing legs, which are there. You get the assault portal, which is just here. The flying stand, which is there. You get the nozzle, which is there. That's part of the engine. You get the nozzle base, which is there. And then you get the cutting claws, which are these bits just here. Now, you also need, from the drop pod, the doors. And these are the side bits. Like the fins and stuff that stick out the side, and you need the small turbine that clips out. Now it's really important with these, as you can see I've prepped everything ready for it. Now it's really important when you do the doors that you take off the doors. Now it's a nice easy just cut across there, a groove, a line, sort of like a line along the groove, and then it just snaps off. Now I did these as separate pieces before gluing these because it just makes it easier, and as I've already done one, I kind of learned some bits and pieces from it that just help to build it. So why don't I clean this away and let's start on the first part, and I'll see you guys in a second. Hi guys, and welcome back. So here we are. We're going to take our first piece and this is basically where the fan or the turbine fits into there, and then we have our final bit of engine assembly that fits on the top there. But for now we just need this one bit, and what we're going to do is take this one bit of door, and it literally, if I can get this to focus instead of what's in the background, thank you very much camera, it literally just sticks in there like that. So I'm going to glue this in place. Now I'm going to take my super glue. Now I use a number of different super glues. I'll normally use deluxe material, but I've literally just run out after a year. It's always the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm just going to spray some activator just to go on there, and then that clicks into there like so. Now this is a really easy process. It just goes on like so. Now I'm going to take one of these. Now there's a little groove just in there, as you can see, and there's a little bit that sticks out, and it literally just slots onto there like so. Now after talking to Phil, and Phil's one of the guys that designed, well, he's the guy that designed this, he works at Fortrod, he basically said not to stick it all the way down because later on you'll need to wiggle it around a bit, but just to stick it at the top section. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take my super glue, I'm just going to put a squeezy amount on there and just tap it along. Now I don't mind too much if there's a little bit of excess, but it will find its way. So there we go, I'm just going to hold that there for a second. It will find its place and it will stick in nicely. Saying that, it's really just going to drop off now. So I'm going to take this, just spray that underneath there. Now I'm using accelerator for this process because it just speeds things up. It makes it so much more easier. Okay, so now we've got to get this on there at some point, but what I found yesterday was easier to just get a couple of sides on first before doing it. So we're going to glue the next piece in, which will be this side. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue there and there. I'm just going to put a bit of glue along there like so. Now I'm being a little bit frugal, or a little bit wild with my glue. Feel free to do this however you wish, and just make sure it clicks in so it's nice and tight like so. And it's kind of cool because yesterday it was literally I found that once I stuck it all in, it was just trying to find the gap where it all basically clips into, and there was a little bit of giving and pushing and stuff just to make it slot in, which wasn't too bad. Now you're going to have a little bit of a gap here and there, but don't worry about that for now because that's going to change later, because we've got some bits that hide the gaps. Just making sure that fits in there like so. Okay, so I'm going to glue this into place and I'll be back with you in a second. Hi guys, and welcome back. So here we are. We've got the main part of it done now. We've just got this last section here to fit in. So again, we're going to just take a piece, we're just going to dry fit it. That slots into there like so. So there's a little bit of a jigging around, a little bit of pushing just to slot it in and make sure it fits. Remember, we're going to dry fit as much as possible. We've done this differently. I've done this basically differently. Last time I didn't fit the base in first, and it allowed me to move it all around, and he was saying basically not to glue the bottom section down when you're fitting all the sides on until you put the base on. So we've tried it a little bit differently this time, just to see how that works out for us. Just going to add a little bit of glue in there. It's all very exciting. I love this. This is on camera building. It can go terribly wrong, and that's the joy, the excitement, the thrill of the chase, so to speak. So here we go, nearly there. So I had a fantastic time at the Forge World Open Day. It was really lovely meeting you guys, and we all had loads to talk about, which was really cool, especially about different armies and stuff and what people are building, and I found that really interesting and the reasons why they were going for it. Okay, so that last bit fits in there like so. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our glue and just slot it in there like so. Put a bit in there, just going to put a bit in the gap like so. That'll squeeze it in. And that will go in there like that. Okay, so I've gone for Dreadclaws because they're a great way of using them to deliver my troops into the front lines, other than drop pods, and because I'm going for a fast army, these work perfectly. So we're pretty just going to dry fit this just to make sure it slots into play. And that'll be fantastic. We'll just have to give it a bit of a push just to make sure it slots in. And that's brilliant. And we're just going to glue that now and make me a very happy man. And then we're going to move on to the next section, which is quite exciting. We'll just put that in there as well, because we know we're going to be sticking it in there and either side as well. So here we go. It's all in the wrist, as they say, and we can just slot that in there like so. We'll just hold that in position, let that dry, and I will see you guys in a second. Hi guys, welcome back. So we're now on to the next part, which is adding the cutting claw sections, which are these. Now, if we just have a quick look at these, if we just focus in on those, that's where the cutting laser is, just there, and that's where the claws are. They go dig in like so, and then it does its job. There's so much detail on this, it's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so we sort of left it where we had gaps along the sides and in the middle. Now what these do are they just slot on there like so, and they hide the gaps on the sides. It's just as simple as that. So all we have to do is just make sure that they fit in nicely, and that there's no sort of bowing in it when we come to glue it into place. Now that's going to fit nicely, just like that. So I'm quite happy about that. Okay, so let's just put that there. Let's grab our glue, like so. And for this, I'm always using super glue. I tend to go for other brands other than the GW stuff, because I kind of like to have quite a bit of glue ready, because you don't really get too much in the pots, which is a bit of a shame, but I really like the other glues which I get from my local stores, and also from Deluxe Materials. So here we go, we just squeeze down on here, keep it in place. It should match up with these sections just here, so it should match up there and there quite easily. It's such a lovely, easy model to make, this one. You're going to have so much fun, and it's going to be done in no time whatsoever. Okay, so we just need to make sure that fixes in place there, like so. I might have to push it out. There we go. There we go. Nicely slotted. There we go. Okay, that's in place. So we're going to move around to the next section, which is here. It's listening out for that familiar little click. And you add our glue, like so, and on the sides. Quite wild when it comes to my glue. Just little dabs, and then you can do that with it. Okay, we're going to do the same again. It literally just slots in like so. Now you're going to have a little gap here and there on them. I did find that, like on that bit there's a bigger gap, but unfortunately there was nothing I could do about that. I kind of like the gap. I mean, let's just get that in there. So there we go. So straight away we've got some nice, it's hiding the gaps that we've got here and here, which is quite cool. I mean, it's a really cool kit. I mean, it is a really cool kit. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to take our glue. Again, just there and there. Again, we're just going to push it into place. Like so. Let's just get that in there. Hold it in position. And then we'll be done. So I'm going to finish this off and I'll see you guys in a second. Hi guys, welcome back. So here we have our finished piece. It's all done, which is really good. Nice and easy. So what's next, you ask? Well, we're going to add in the engine section, which is it just fits in there like so. So it's the nozzles that we have, which makes it a lot easier to get done. So we just take our plastic and we're going to add a bit of super glue. Now with resin it's easier to use super glue than it is to use normal plastic glue. It's just the way I've always done it. Plus it bonds better and holds it together better. So no using plastic glue or resin for me. It's just a choice. So there we go, that's fitted in. It's nice and easy, it's done. We're just going to take our last section, which is the end nozzle that fits on there. That literally, believe it or not, just slots in there like so. And it's a nice little push in. Let that settle. I'm just going to spray this with some activator. That will seep into the cracks, and that will activate the glue to do its job. So already we're nearly there. Now this is the nice and simple bit now. We're just going to add these sections in, which are our landing legs with the big crab-like claws that come out like that. And it's pretty much done. And it's there. So I will see you in the next section where we add in the legs. Hi guys, and welcome back. So here we have our legs. Now we've cleaned these up, we're ready. There is a slight mould line that goes down there, but you know what, once the paint's done you're not going to notice that. It's really clean elsewhere, so I'm very happy with this. Now the legs is quite easy to put in place. There's a little gap there and it literally slots in, and then your hose pipe or your pipe section slots into the hole like so. Now you're going to have a little bit of movement in it until you've glued it into place, but there's sections here that match up with these rivets which help it basically just fall into place. And that's what I love about this. It's been so well designed and so well thought out that it literally clicks into place for you. All you'd have to do is get a bit of a hairdryer, if you want these to be centered, and they go in like so. So let's get this going. I love this. I really love this model. I've got to say, this is probably one of the quickest forge world models I've ever put together. There was a lot of preparation for it, just cleaning up, but you're going to get that with any model. And if people that know me often complain that I don't clean up my mold lines. I do, but sometimes I get really excited and just get on with it, and at the end of the day it's for me, so I'm not too fast. But generally, if you're going into competition or you're entering something, make sure you clean up the mold lines, because it keeps people at ease, calms down their OCDs, and obviously when judges look at competition pieces, you know, they want to make sure that you've done it correctly. Okay, so there we go, just got to let that set. Leg number 1, we'll just leave that there for a second. We're going to move on to leg number 2. Again, we're just going to apply our glues. Get that on there, and a bit on there. Like I said, this is such a pleasure to build. Now, I heard the other one, the original Dreadclaw, the Chaos Dreadclaw, was quite a difficult model to put together because it had loads of moving parts where the legs would slide up and down. This, however, has been simplified and made so easy to build that even I can do it, and that's what you want. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And we're literally just moving around the model, and we're adding in our glue, and let's just put a bit of glue up there, and that will go in like so. See, again, it just clips into place. It falls into the 3 dots, the 3 rivets that are there, or 4 rivets that are there, and the holes that are already in placed in this. It just slots over the top and literally clicks into place, and that's what you want. Nice and easy. Okay, let's just rest that there for a second. Sorry, when we're talking about section, and that goes into there. Hi guys, welcome back. So there it is, it's all done, and it's as simple as that. It's a nice, easy build. There's no stress to it. It's nice and easy to do, and all you have to do next is basically work on your base. You've got this bit that you can, it just slides on for when you need it, and it literally just sits on your base in a flying position. And the nice thing is you can just take it off and you can have it as a landing position. So what do we do next? Well, in the next video we will be working on the painting side of this, because there's a lot to do on it, and we're adding this to our World Eater army. So I will see you in the next video, in part 2, and you guys take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon.